Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The countdown is on. Local retailers that have been shut down for weeks are getting set to reopen in just a few hours.
The family of a long-missing war veteran is calling this the best Memorial Day ever, as their 7-decades-old mystery is finally solved.
And don't let your guard down. That's the message tonight from a doctor who nearly died from coronavirus and then lost someone close to him. Thanks for being with us on this Memorial Day Monday.
We begin here at 6 with more positive news in Michigan's fight to control coronavirus. The number of COVID-19 cases and deaths continues to slow, with the state reporting 202 new positive tests and 12 more people who lost their life to the virus. The World Health Organization has temporarily suspended the use of hydroxychloroquine in a study of possible treatments for COVID-19. The decision was made after new data came to light showing lower survival rates among hospitalized patients using the drug.
Here locally, tomorrow is a big day for a lot of businesses that have been shut down. Auto showrooms and non-essential retail stores can reopen Tuesday by appointment only, and those retailers can have no more than 10 customers inside at a time. Local 4 Business Editor Rod Maloney is live tonight with how the preparations are going and what this will look like. Rod, it's going to be a completely different world for them.
No doubt, Kimberly, and it's one of those things where it's been a long time in coming, a kind of a slow ramp up. And now one of the things that we're hearing is you probably ought to pack some patience with your wallet or pocketbook tomorrow. Annabelle's Couture customers learned to work within the rules over the last couple of months using curbside service, online ordering, and even enjoyed delivery. For owner Patty Brock, opening the downtown Berkeley doors again to foot traffic is a little unnerving.
I was so excited and yet at the same time very concerned about how it's going to go. Everything feels very precarious.
The governor's order requires an appointment before coming into these retailers. Michigan Small Business Association spokesperson Megan Holland says they look at it a little bit differently.
There are retailers who say they will take up to 10 customers. If there's an 11th one out there, then that just starts a line to get in. So it's a walk-in appointment as far as we're concerned.
What's more, Holland says the association wanted the reopening last week, not Memorial Day.
That tends to be a big holiday sales weekend for lots of stores. So that was a big disappointment.
Patty Brock says calling ahead's a very good idea considering hers is a very personalized business.
What will be the expectations? It feels so almost as though you're going to have to get into it before you really see how it's going to go.
And it's not like it hasn't been that way all along here. Now, don't forget that auto showrooms will be opening tomorrow. Getting an appointment there is certainly much easier. But the recommendation from the Small Business Association is that you really should call ahead no matter where you're going, because if they're going to be packed, you want to know. If you're going to have to stand in line outside, you want to know ahead on that as well. So reporting live from West Bloomfield, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
One category of businesses that will have to wait longer to reopen is gyms and health clubs. An industry group representing them is taking Governor Whitmer to court, demanding to be part of the discussion about their fate. Grant Herms is live with what they're arguing in a new lawsuit. Grant?
Well, Steve, this latest lawsuit is from 120 gym owners from across the state, and it's another lawsuit saying that Governor's stay-at-home order has gone too far. These gym owners say they want a seat at the table to renegotiate how they'll reopen.
With the Memorial Day weather, many are hoping to get out and get a little exercise. But where that won't be happening is inside their local gyms. Still closed under the governor's stay-at-home order. And inside a new 101-page lawsuit, some gyms are saying they've waited long enough. The suit filed Friday was on behalf of the League of Independent Fitness Facilities and Trainers, or LIFT, saying the governor's order has cut out businesses like gyms and health clubs entirely, and claims the governor is responsible for some non-COVID deaths by closing gyms down back in March.
Depression is at an all-time high. Anxiety is through the roof. Stress is through the roof. And the data and science show that Fitness and fitness facilities and working out help with depression, anxiety, and stress.
Right now, personal touch businesses aren't explicitly mentioned in the governor's 6-phase plan to reopen. In fact, no personal touch business like barbershops, salons, or spas are, which is why the attorney on the suit says the lawsuit is different than 2 others recently ruled in the governor's favor.
My clients aren't saying they should have been open on March 16th. They're not saying that they should even necessarily be open today. But what we're saying is that right should belong to the business owners, not to the government. Our clients, my clients, are the experts as to how to open a gym safely.
Now, health officials are wary of reopening places like gyms, including our Dr. Frank McGeorge, who today agreed that gyms are places where people are close together, they're sharing equipment, and they're exhaling more frequently than they normally would, and those are places where the virus is more apt to spread.
Yeah, Grant, there have certainly been other clashes with the governor involving these businesses that are known as personal touch businesses. So where does this go from here now?
Well, there are no protests planned or defiant reopenings planned as of right now, but because these gym owners are saying that their due process rights were violated, the lawsuit clearly says that it will continue even if the governor lifts her stay-at-home order. And if that becomes the model for more businesses across the state, she could be dealing with these kinds of lawsuits for quite some time. Steve?
Yeah, that's the truth. All right, thank you, Grant.
All right, well, Memorial Day in Michigan is certainly bringing the heat.
And the humidity. Paul is in for Ben today. He's got a look at our forecast, including just the possibility for some pop-up storms. So, Paul, what's that about?
Well, it's just the heat and humidity. There's no front or anything nearby, just kind of stuff that randomly pops up. Right now, we are in the mid-80s, a little cooler near the water. You can see Monroe's at 82 degrees, but let's just move right along and check out 4Live radar. And again, we are still not seeing anything in our area, but there is stuff around the area. So first of all, you can see west of Lansing there and back down toward Battle Creek. That's an area of showers. And then you get down, we're watching this area right here. It's getting perilously close to the state line, but right now, it's not in Michigan yet, but still, we're going to keep a close eye on things as we move through the next couple of hours, because the south part of the south zone there, you could get kind of tagged by that stuff there. But for the rest of us, it looks like just a very isolated, small chance for a pop-up. And temperatures early this evening in the 80s, dropping into the 70s, even still near 70 degrees by midnight. So the heat and humidity is here, and it's going to stick around for a while. But don't forget, Local Forecasters app has you covered. If you have outdoor plans over the next several days, there are thunderstorm chances. The radar is fast, it's easy, it's accurate. You can just with the tap of a finger, you can just check out the radar before you head out the door and just kind of stay ahead of the weather. Be back with the rest of the forecast in just a bit.
Paul, thank you. More than 3,000 U.S. Army soldiers died during the 17-day conflict known as the Battle of Chosin. That was during the Korean War.
Yeah, but no one saw Sergeant Jesse Hill of Michigan fall in battle. No one saw him taken prisoner. So for nearly 7 decades, Sergeant Hill was unaccounted for. Victor Williams reports, though, now his family here in Metro Detroit is finally getting some closure.
Well, this is a story with a happy ending, nearly 7 decades in the making. And thanks to the power of DNA technology, one family can finally have some closure just in time for the holidays.
It really was awesome. It was, I had the best week of my life this week.
Tom Hill says he was caught off guard receiving a phone call from the Army that was long overdue. After nearly 70 years, his brother Sergeant Jesse Hill is finally coming home to his final resting place to be with his family once and for all.
Getting a phone call like that was the best thing in the world for us. I was speechless, I really was.
Back in December of 1950, Sergeant Jesse was listed as MIA from the Korean War during a battle with his unit. Tom was only 10 years old at the time.
I remember him distinctly. He was a great brother. I carry a bracelet. I've been wearing it for a long time with his name and everything on all about him.
The sergeant was never listed as a prisoner of war, nor is he believed to have died on the battlefield. Sadly, his mother didn't live long enough to at least find some closure in her son's disappearance.
She waited all the time. And she says, I'm just going to wait. I'm only waiting for him to call me.
Today, his family is happy to remember what he's done for his country, knowing they'll soon be able to physically reunite with the man who put everything on the line for his nation's freedom. The best news to learn right before Memorial Day.
My birthday was yesterday, and it was the best birthday present I ever and will ever receive, along with the Memorial Weekend. I mean, who could ask for anything better?
And as of right now, the Hills have yet to receive those remains due to delays because of COVID-19. More than likely, it's going to be August at the very earliest that they receive them. Reporting Victor Williams, Local 4.
Incredible story. Okay, Victor, thank you. COVID-19 has brought tough times for organizations that depend on donations, like our area's many nonprofits. Local 4's Larry Spruill shows you how some of these groups are forced to do things differently to deliver on their promise to the community.
Our organization is critically important because we're actually the only organization that provides drop-in services to youth and young adults who are at risk of or currently experiencing homelessness.
It's a huge need that is often overlooked, said Courtney Smith with Detroit Phoenix Center. Her organization is headquartered here in Detroit.
We offer showers, washer and dryer. They have access to a computer lab, a food pantry, clothing closet.
Smith says they're still offering those resources. We're talking about delivering groceries and hygiene products to even counseling, but that's hard to do because her building is closed due to COVID-19.
The request for our services have increased, but the accessibility to those that we served has decreased.
So we were really lucky. We were able to pivot very quickly, and which I think made all the difference in the world.
Portia Robertson with Focus Hope is also doing things differently because their campus is also shut down due to the coronavirus.
We shifted our workforce, so we started doing virtual trainings for our students, workforce training. And then we shifted our Head Start so we could do virtual home visits.
Robertson tells me their biggest service is their food program.
And then most importantly, we shifted our Food for Seniors program. And I think that was the biggest thing we had to shift and the quickest thing we shifted.
Now Robertson is focusing on having a plan in place for when it's safe to reopen.
We installed portable sinks so people could wash their hands upon entering and exiting the building. Hand sanitizer everywhere, of course. Everybody's been mandated to wear a mask.
Larry Spruill, Local 4.
New at 6.
He's a local physician who has experienced the coronavirus as a doctor, a patient, and a son who lost his father. Coming up, what Dr. Scott Cates wants you to know about this virus and the risk it still poses.